Leadership isn't just a title or a position, it's a mindset and a practice. Jocko Willink and Leif Babin learned this not in a boardroom, but in the intense environment of Ramadi, Iraq. Their experiences shaped a core belief. True leaders take responsibility for everything that happens on their team. This means no excuses, no exceptions. When leaders embrace this principle, they stop wasting energy on blame and start focusing on solutions. It's a shift that separates effective leaders from those who simply hold a title. Extreme ownership is about stepping up, owning outcomes, and setting the tone for your entire team. The central premise of extreme ownership is simple but powerful. Leaders are responsible for everything. This isn't just motivational talk, it's a practical operating principle. When you accept total ownership, you stop looking for someone to blame and start looking for ways to solve problems. This mindset transforms teams and organizations. It means that wins, losses, and even failures you didn't directly cause are still your responsibility. By consistently applying this principle, leaders create environments where accountability and problem-solving thrive. Willink and Babin illustrate this principle with a story from Bud training. Boat crews competed in races, and one crew consistently lost. When the instructors swapped the leader of the losing crew with the leader of the top crew, the previously losing team began winning. The personnel didn't change, the leadership did. This lesson is clear. The team reflects the leader. Leaders who truly own outcomes find ways to raise performance, regardless of circumstances. It's easy to blame poor results on personnel or culture, but extreme ownership demands that leaders look inward and take responsibility. Drawn from combat tactics, the principle of cover and move means that units must support each other to advance. In organizations, this translates to departments and individuals working together, not as competing silos. Every function exists to support the mission, not just protect its own metrics. Willink and Babin saw this failure pattern often in business, sales blaming operations, product blaming engineering. When teams lose sight of the shared mission and retreat into tribal loyalties, progress stalls. Leaders must reinforce that every team's success depends on every other team's success. In high-stakes environments, complexity can be fatal. Willink and Babin stress that if a plan cannot be communicated clearly, it will fail under pressure. This is especially true in modern organizations with remote and hybrid structures. Ambiguity compounds quickly when people operate across time zones and limited communication. Leaders who default to complexity, layered processes, lengthy directives, unclear priorities, create the conditions for failure. Simplicity is key. Clear plans, clear communication, and clear priorities enable teams to execute effectively. A leader can manage every decision in a fast-moving environment. Willink and Babin argue that effective leadership means developing subordinate leaders who understand the mission deeply enough to make sound decisions independently. The mechanism is straightforward. Every person on the team must understand not just what they're doing, but why it matters. When the why is clear, people can adapt as circumstances change. This principle empowers teams to respond quickly and effectively, both in combat and in business. One of the book's most counterintuitive arguments is that structure and routine don't constrain performance. They enable it. Teams with disciplined processes, clear communication, and consistent standards free up cognitive bandwidth for decisions that actually require judgment. Leaders who resist structure in the name of flexibility often create chaotic environments where everyone is reacting and no one is thinking ahead. Discipline creates freedom by allowing teams to focus on what matters most and avoid unnecessary crises. Extreme ownership is more than a collection of principles. It's a call to action. Leadership is not a title, it's a practice. The authors are clear. You cannot selectively apply ownership. Leaders who take credit for wins but deflect responsibility for losses destroy trust faster than almost any other behavior. In today's complex organizations, the temptation to diffuse responsibility is strong. But leaders who plant the flag of ownership firmly, regardless of circumstance, are the ones whose teams perform when it matters most. When something goes wrong on your team, what's your first instinct? Your answer reveals everything about the kind of leader you are, and the kind you still need to become. Extreme ownership challenges us to reflect on our leadership habits and embrace responsibility, no matter the situation. In an era of rapid change and high accountability, those who resist the urge to blame and instead own their outcomes are the leaders who inspire trust and drive results. The journey to effective leadership starts with ownership.